Hello everybody, welcome to the impressive channel. Now you guys people are out here saying that Cardi B is pregnant. Now she was performing recently at Ladyland Festival in New York City, and from the looks of this video, people are speculating that she might have a baby bump. Now we can't always know for certain, right? So I don't want to say she is pregnant, but I can't blame people for thinking that way because it kind of seems like she has a bump. I do remember a little while back Alexis alleged that Cardi might be expecting a child with her new boyfriend Stefan Diggs. This is what was said. A birdie on my shoulder told me these two are already expecting a baby. She's pregnant. There's nothing wrong with Cardi having another child. She can do that. But with Stefan Diggs just welcomed a child recently too, and nobody talks about it. He actually had a child with this model named Giselle, allegedly, and Stefan also is for the streets. He has a reputation. He's honestly no better than Card's husband Offset, who has cheated on her consistently throughout their marriage. So the fact that Cardi has gotten pregnant with another cheater, allegedly, is just not a good look. And I will say, I don't think it's the most convenient time for her to get pregnant, if she is in fact pregnant, because Cardi is supposed to be releasing her second album, and it's called Am I the Drama. One thing her label is going to want from her is for her to tour. That is where the money is, and that is really where they could recoup a lot of the money that they invested into Cardi, because Atlantic did spend a whole lot of money on Cardi and she has not yet gone on tour, so they need her to go on tour. So I wonder if her potentially having another baby is going to affect that. Depending on how far along she could be, she might actually have a baby before even doing the tour. So maybe her having a baby won't get in the way of things, but she absolutely has to tour this time around, because if she doesn't, her label really will be done with her. Now I do want to briefly talk about this as well. So Cardi dropped her single Outside, but there is a rap artist named Rissa Rain who claimed that Cardi copied her song. Rissa Rain had a song called Outside that she released 3 years ago, and she noticed that the song had some similarities. And I did listen to them both, and I will say the production is definitely very similar.
Posted that story, and a lot of people was commenting. So yes, I want to be very, very clear. I fuck with Cardi. I heard the song. I fuck with the song. But as I was listening to it, I was just like, sounded very familiar. And like I said, the song that I made this song 3-4 years ago. My manager at the time wanted me to make more music for females, not be so ratchet, not be so aggressive. They wanted me to make more twerk music, which wasn't really my vibe for real. But I went ahead and made it. I pushed the song down in like 20 minutes. Here y'all go, boom. Threw it on YouTube. I didn't even release it. I just threw it on YouTube. But that's neither here nor there, because regardless of the quality of the music or whatever, I had the plan. I just didn't have the platform, clearly. The idea was there, and I really do feel like you just took it and perfected it. You're not going to be able to tell me that no, and even if it wasn't the artist themselves, even if it wasn't Cardi herself, somebody on that team heard the song. Yes, it is a common saying, but the coincidence for you to say outside and the beat sound the same, to me, that's too close. Somebody heard it and was like, I could see where they was trying to go with this. Let's take it here. I hear it, and I know I ain't tripping. I know I'm not tripping.
She's definitely not tripping, and you know Cardi doesn't really have a lot of creative input in her music like that. She doesn't write, she doesn't produce. So I don't think she had any idea of this. So it's obviously the producer and writer who heard the song and switched it up and gave it to Cardi B, and this really does happen quite often. I mean, recently another artist who was called out for allegedly using a similar song was Doi. Doi dropped a song with Tyler, the Creator, called Get Right, and it was actually previewed during Pharrell's Louis Vuitton fashion show, and the artist Mia said that this sounded like her song Boys, and I did go back and compare the two. I wouldn't say they're exactly the same, but the creative direction and the beat and how Doechii was performing on the song was kind of giving Mia, but Mia's Boy song was a bit more sonically chaotic to me. Still, I did pick up on the similarities. I feel like Doechii is very, very, very talented. She definitely is, but Like I said before, I feel like she grabs a lot of inspiration from other artists to the point that it almost feels like she sometimes sounds more like her inspirations than she does herself. Now moving on, I want to talk a little bit about DDG and Hi Bailey. So they did have their court hearing regarding the custody of their son. Hi is seeking sole and physical custody of their son, and DDG is fighting for his right to see their son now. Hi and DDG had a very messy breakup. It got to the point where they both filed restraining orders on each other, and they both were claiming that they put hands on each other, and they were accusing each other of cheating. Hi accused DDG of harassment, and DDG accused Hi being mentally unstable. There was a lot going on. Their relationship was kind of toxic, not kind of, it was very toxic, and I felt like these two had no business having a child together. But we're here now, and DDG and Hi do love their son. I do believe that they both are good parents despite all they went through in their relationship, so I want to see them be able to co-parent effectively and actually share custody. But right now the tension between them is so fresh, so it's going to take time for that tension to settle. But as of right now, they're dealing with this custody battle, and Hi was able to get temporary custody when she filed a restraining order against DDG, but DDG was recently granted the right to see his son on July 1st to the 3rd, and here are the conditions. The visitation hours must be from 9:00 a.m. to 6:00 p.m. every day. Hal's team had first suggested 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., and Hal's nanny and security must watch after him. According to Haley's attorney, the nanny felt scared being by herself, which led to the necessity for security. Since he is now filming a movie in Italy, DDG is unable to spend the night with his kid. He is unable to take Halo farther than 3 miles from the hotel, and he must stay close to the hotel. There are a lot of restrictions, including the fact that DDG is not allowed to post anything about Halo on social media. As I mentioned earlier, the tension between Hi and DDG is still very fresh, so it may take some time for them to relax. But for now, things are still tense. And Hi has leverage because she has the child and wants full custody, because she wants to be able to make all the decisions for the child. DDG would essentially have little say in that, and I believe it would be difficult for him to deal with that, because he also likes to be in control. At the moment, he is thinking about having another child, but this time he will simply avoid the entire relationship process and use a surrogate to carry his child.
No girl. I mean, nigga like me, if I'm 29 or something like that, and I ain't got the time, I just go to that place, do my little 1-2, put my shit in the cup, take a little egg from somebody, throw it in another little body, cook that motherfucker up for 9 months, you know. You can do that type of shit when you got money. That'll alleviate a lot of shit.
He's definitely talking from hurt, I think, but he wants to have a child that he could have some control and say so over. And I hate to say it, but he probably wants a content baby. Too, I know DDG loves Halo, but he was definitely using Halo for content. As well, he was trying to make that boy into a star, but right now he can't post his son, so he's going to find another child to create so he could post him, because that will definitely drive up the streams. And if he wants to have another child in a non-traditional way, that's his business. But I do hope he doesn't treat his children different from each other. I hope he doesn't show favoritism or look at one child as less than all, because he doesn't like the mother. There are some baby daddies who do that, and it's not right at all. So I don't know, I think it would be best if DDG just healed himself. First got into a healthy relationship and a marriage, and then have another child. I mean, that makes sense, right? But anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.